In worrying so much what other people think about you, you're actively suppressing your true self. To modify oneself in hopes of being accepted by the crowd is truly one of the saddest things the human does. Everyone has a unique gift to bring to the world, and conformity kills that. Conformity kills the unique gifts inside of each and every one of us that is just yearning to be expressed, that is wanting to come out so passionately. But yet we care what so and so thinks of us, what so and so is saying about us. We let these things affect us in such a way that we never live a life true to ourselves. We live the life that others are expecting us to live, or that we think they're expecting us to live. We live a life where we try to please as many people as possible, and in hopes that we are liked by as many people as possible, and have no bad blood, and so on and so forth. But I think to truly do something authentic, groundbreaking, true to yourself, expressing your soul, I think I think you're going to divide the crowd. I think some people will love it. Some people will see your soul being poured out into your every action, into your being. And other people will hate your authenticity and will scream at you to conform, will scream at you to stop doing that, to say that you're corrupting, you're doing this, you're doing that. And I think throughout history, the greats are great examples of that. Jesus was loved and Jesus was hated. All Jesus ever wanted to do was spread love and light. Whether you believe he is God or not, um, I think it's pretty well accepted that he was a real person who really just wanted to spread love and light. And he was killed for that. So I always try to remind myself that when I try to please everybody. Because even somebody like Jesus was hated. Someone who today is still hated for no good reason. So many people are hated for no good reason, just because they are truly authentic to themselves. And how disgusting it is to hate someone for wanting to spread positivity, love, light, kindness. It's it's truly heartbreaking. But in this day and age, that is the price of being authentic. That is the price of not conforming. And that is the price of being true to yourself. And I say in this day and age, but it's really always been that way. You know, Gandhi. Gandhi was assassinated. To give more of a modern example than Jesus. Gandhi literally was just same thing as Jesus, love and light, no violence. And he died due to violence. The the paradox and the polarities are insane. It makes no sense. But people just seem to have such a problem with people who express what they are feeling, that express their soul outwardly. People either have such a problem or they so passionately love it and they are just completely captivated by the sheer beauty and trueness of their actions. I think you can really tell in someone's actions when they're being true or when they're just um, being false or just saying something to try to please you. You can tell authenticity, and I think everybody knows this. Where else could the saying of you know this was made with love? If something does seem to be so much better when it's made with love. If someone just looks at a ingredient list and dumps the ingredients in versus, a grandmother who is putting her heart and soul into this thing. They can be the same measurements, the same ingredients, the same everything, same time, same mixing. But I think we all know which one tastes better. The one made with love is just so much better. And an extra ingredient in there. And this is like, I mean, it's, I want to say culturally accepted, but everyone knows, like, I mean, it's like kind of a saying, oh, it was made with love. That's the special ingredient, love. That's the Krabby Patty special formula, secret formula. Um, but I think it's so true, and it shows up everywhere in life. When you're truly authentic, when you're truly true to yourself, when you're expressing your soul in such a way, it's clear. It's clear. You can just tell the people who are fake, the people who are just going through the motions, trying not to step on anyone's feet, trying to please everybody, and the people who are just, I'm not out here to hurt anybody. I'm not hurting anybody, and I'm just going to be myself. And if that's not okay with you, then, screw you. And I think deep down, a lot of us love that. But when it conflicts with our view of the world so much, we hate it. You hate the free spirit that is just like everything that you're not. And maybe that's just because they're expressing everything that you are, that you never had the courage to express. But I think you're doing the earth a disservice when your being is one of a kind, never seen before and never seen again. And you're not expressing that thing inside of you, which is yearning to be expressed. Now, I believe everyone has it. You can ask yourself right now, and something will answer, something will tell you. And it's not even, it can be so profound, but it doesn't even have to be so profound. It can just be, wanting to wear a certain type of clothes to the gym, but then you're like, I'm not feeling too big. I don't want to wear something that's going to show that much of my arms. I'll just wear a t-shirt, or an oversized t-shirt. I'm talking about myself clearly. Um, yeah, it's like, why? If nobody was there, would you be? If nobody was around, and yes, I know there's social things, we have to do. We can't just walk around naked. But if nobody was around, would you dress the way you dress? Would you look the way you look? Would you wear the things you wear? That's why I try to wear things that I just care about being comfortable. That's why I like always wear shorts, and I don't like it's just I just try to be comfortable. And if it's hot out, like I don't want to wear that much clothes. So I just don't. And it's like, who cares? Who cares? I'm not breaking any laws. It's like just be yourself. Be comfortable in your own skin. Like to not That's why envy is so sad. So sad because you cannot be happy while being envious. Because you are actively saying, I wish I had that other than this. And that can be your body image, that can be your um, personality, looks, social status, intelligence, anything of that nature. And you're saying, I cannot be happy the way that I am. I need to be like that. Now, that is truly, truly sad. Truly very sad. And, you were made uniquely, specially you. And you should love every part of you. And you should express it how you feel like expressing it. As long as you're not harming anybody else. There's nothing wrong with it. And to suppress yourself is to do a disservice to myself and to yourself and to the world. Imagine the great artists if they, let themselves just be conformed by society and never produced their wonders. Imagine if, Leonardo da Vinci was told, or he let himself think that he shouldn't express himself. He should just, I think his dad was it's like a bookkeeper, and back in the day, a little rift right here. Um, he might not have been a bookkeeper, but he was something of that nature. And back in the day, you usually, that was like in 1600s, I think, and you took an apprenticeship from your father, and you followed in the family business. But Leonardo was um, I don't know, I guess it was like kind of socially accepted back then, but um, Leonardo's dad had a kid with not his wife, so Leonardo didn't have to take on his dad's trade because it wasn't completely accepted in some of the churches. The act of having a kid with another girl was, I guess, but not that kid being able to take on the family business. So Leonardo was free to pick what he wanted to pick, and he apprenticed under I think a painter. Yeah, I think a painter. And imagine if Leonardo was suppressed. He said, "I want to paint, Dad." He said, "No, you're being a bookkeeper." Imagine how many Leonardo da Vinci's were bookkeepers and just mundane tasks that they never wanted to do. And that's why, it's great today where you can just really express yourself. And if you don't, it's your fault. It's because you care about society, you care about what they think, you care about what they're gonna say about you. You want to be a people pleaser. You don't want to step on anyone's foot. You're walking on eggshells day in and day out. And that's just, you can't blame anyone but yourself. And to live a life not comfortable with being who you are, to not being comfortable in your own skin, to not just truly expressing that inside you which yearns to be expressed, is truly a pity. Because as James Hollis says, the unlived life will make you ill. And if there's a life inside that you want to live that you are not living, it will kill you. It will eat you from the inside out. And that's a horrible thing. It's a truly horrible thing. So I just want to make this video to tell you to stop caring so much about what other people think about you. Whether it's how your body looks, how your voice sounds, how you express yourself, how your hair looks, how this, how that, how whatever. Who cares? Be yourself, express yourself the way you want to, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, just be yourself.